Welcome to my beginner's guide to item quality. I've already made a video about attributes in your equipment, so I recommend you watch both videos because they complement each other. But in this video, I want to talk about the quality of an item. For example, let's select this axe. If you see here on the top left, it says quality 635 plus 100. And the category is divine mythic. If you click here on this interrogation symbol, you can see the exact ranges of the different attributes and the current values of each one of the attributes. Now, if you want to have the maximum bonus or benefit from a piece of equipment, you need three things. You need the quality to be up to 1000, the honing quality to be up to 400, and the relevant scroll, meaning the defense scroll for your armors, the offense scroll for your weapon and shield, and the utility scroll for your rings, amulet, and belt at level 50. That means that that piece of equipment is maxed out. That is all the benefit that you can get from it. Now, if we go to the filters and select rarity, you can see here that we have common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and then we have 5 categories for mythic. Now, these mythics are really the same. The only difference in one category or other is the quality of the item. However, all mythic pieces of equipment can be refined, so any mythical can be transformed into immortal mythic through refinement. But let's select, for example, these are the mythic pieces of equipment that I have. So what makes a mythic be considered in this category? If the quality of the item is below 600, is mythic. If the category of the item is is between 600 and 749, it's divine mythic. If the quality is between 750 and 849, it will be a sacred mythic. If the quality is between 850 and 949, as you can see, it will be an exalted mythic. And finally, if the quality is immortal between 950 and 1000, it will be an immortal mythic. But as I said, all mythics can be upgraded, or in this case refined, up to the maximum quality of 1000. It's just a name that the game gives so you can understand or filter what are considered the best. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. It's not taking into account the different attributes and other things. Now, that is the quality, that is the first number that shows up on the left side. So how do you increase that? Well, for that you need to get your crafters, which are Toragon for armors, Gemka for accessories, and Soul Chaser for weapons and shields, up to level 50. When you have them at level 50, well, now let's take Toragon as an example. When you get them to level 50, you have access to refine. And here in refine, let's say, for example, that I want to refine. Excuse me, I need to unequip it first. So let's select another character. Okay, let's do it again. Refine. For some reason, the game doesn't allow you to refine a piece of equipment that you have on the character. So the easiest way is just to swap to a character that doesn't have it equipped. So this one, this Bloodfang breastplate that has a quality of 717. Let's say refine. And now here we're going to select quality. And let's select another piece of equipment. Now, as you can see, the pieces of equipment that I can select can only be mythics or legendaries and can only be from the same set as the item we want to upgrade. So here, for example, if we select this item, which is exactly the same piece, another Bloodfang breastplate, we will have to spend 100 ether, and this piece of equipment will go up from a quality of 717 to 737, so 20 points. Now, why only 20 points when we are using exactly the same piece? Because the color of this item is blue and the color of this item is purple. So let's transform this piece of equipment. This is also something that you can only do after you get to level 50. Before that, you can reforge, but reforging will give you one random color out of the 5. But if you have your crafters at level 50, you can select the element you want to go to and only spend one ice rune or color rune of the element you want to transform it to, and the rarity is going to depend on the specific item. So in this case, it's a mythic rune. So let's spend the resource, and now let's go back and try again to refine this piece of equipment. No, not this one, this one. Quality, we select the other one, sacrifice, and now it went from 20, if you remember, so from 717 up to 737. Now it's gone up to 50. So it will go from 717 to 767. And here the game details exactly how many points is each category or each attribute going to gain. Also, the cost, when you're using exactly the same piece, not only the same set and the same color, but also the same slot, in this case is a breastplate with a breastplate, then the ether will go down from a cost of 100 to 50. Now let's say that we want to use another piece of equipment, for example, the gloves. The gloves belong as well to the same set, is Bloodfang, but it's obviously a different slot. Here you can see is the same element, it is the same set, so it will go up by 50 as well, but the ether cost goes up to 100. Now, for this set, I don't have any legendaries, but let's try a different set so I can show you exactly how do legendaries work in this case. Let's go to the Dragon King, and not here, here. Nope. Let's go back. Oh yeah, my bad. I'm on Dragon. This is a shield. We need to go to Soul Chaser. Okay, it's much better now. So let's go to the drum again. Set. Okay. So here we can see I have this shield of Anthrite. There is a mythical one. Let's say refine, and we want to use a legendary. Now, notice that here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 legendary shields. However, only this one is blue. This one is yellow, this one is red, this one is green, this one is yellow as well, and this one is purple. When you want to use a legendary in order to refine a mythical, it has to be of the same color. And how much do we gain? Only 10 points. Remember that when we use a mythical for a mythical, it increased by 50. Here it only increases 10 points, and also the ether cost jumps up to 250. So you can use legendaries to refine, but they're really not cost effective. This is really expensive. 250 ether for only 10 points when you can craft one legendary shield for 500 ether, upgrade this one to mythical. Excuse me, I said legendary. You can craft a mythical shield for 500, upgrade this one to mythical, and then sacrifice this one for the main one for 50 more, so a total of 550, and get 50 points when here you are sacrificing or spending 250 ether and only getting 10 points. So, as I said, yes, you can sacrifice legendaries. No, it's not cost effective. But this is how refine works. And as I said before, you can refine any piece of equipment that is at legendary quality up to a total of 1000. Okay, so for example, this one is at 635. Next is honing. You can hone any piece of equipment from uncommon up to mythical. If it's uncommon, it will have one of these pips or dots, however you want to call it. If it's rare, it can have 2. If it's epic, it can have 3. If it's legendary, like for example this helm, it can have a maximum of 4. And if it's mythical, it can have a maximum of, if you said 5, sorry, it's 10. It's actually 10. It just shows 5 of them here, but when you go to the second round, it shows up as this gold color, something like that, while the first 5 are white. I don't know why they didn't do 10 separate ones. This is a little bit confusing, but whatever. So, for example, this piece of equipment is fully honed. So, in this one, you can see here on the right side, the game gives you the option to hone to maximum level. However, on this one, this option is no longer available. Any mythical piece of equipment can be honed for plus 400. This is the maximum amount. Remember that the maximum quality will be 1000 with refining plus 400 with honing. Now, let's hone this axe. Now, one question that I saw someone ask is, can you hone a piece of equipment before it is maximum quality? And the answer is yes. Refining a piece of equipment and honing a piece of equipment are two separate things. They add the bonuses to each other, but they don't interfere to each other. So you can have a quality 1000 and 0 honing, and you can have a 400 honing, and the minimum quality for a mythic is 501. You cannot have a mythic below that. But uh, my point is that you can do one or the other completely separate. Now, how does honing work? In this specific case, I have honed this piece of equipment up to legendary level, which is the four first pips. And now, how much does it cost to get it to the other six? So it will cost 4 mythic runes of its color and 4 relics. These are mythical relics, and the specific relic will depend on the piece of equipment. Now, some pieces of equipment like this is a Dragon King axe. This is a set that can only be found in caches that you can only open with ancient coins. And specifically, this piece of equipment cannot be found in any season. It is only available in one adventure. It is probably the rarest piece of equipment in the whole game. But in this specific one, I mean, for this is a guard's shield, so it uses guard relics. This is a piece of Bloodfang breastplate, and it uses Bloodfang relics. This is a bone ring, and it uses bone relics. Pretty easy. However, these pieces of equipment that are very specific, that are very rare legendaries, each one goes on its own. For the Dragon King axe, it uses Bloodfang for reasons, but for the let me change this back to none. Let's go back to the Dragon King. But if we want to upgrade the Shield of Anthrite, and the Shield of Anthrite is also part of the Dragon King set, just like the axe. This one requires Kasduli relics for reasons. If we want to upgrade the Yggdrasil pendant, which again is part of the same set, the Dragon King set, but this one requires, excuse me, this one is legendary, so I cannot upgrade it. Yeah, that's it. I don't have any other one. But yeah, these pieces of equipment are really strange. But let's go back here. Let's say that we want to hone it. So from 4 to 5, tier 4 to 5 is 4 elemental runes, mythical elemental runes, and 4 relics. To tier 5, it's 8 and 8, 4 more, 4 more, 4 more, 4 more. So if you want to go from the legendary honing level, which is the 4 first pips, up to maximum, so these 6 levels, it will require 24 elemental runes and 24 relics, which is really, really expensive. But as you can see, the power goes from 145 to 184, more speed, more ice damage, more elite damage protection, and more ice mastery. Now, there is something else I want to talk about. Let's say that, for example, for this build, you want to upgrade, hone all of the pieces of equipment. Now, this will require tons of elemental runes of that specific element. So it's 24 each piece of equipment. If we multiply 24 times 12 pieces of equipment, that is 288. That is a lot. So let's go to our wallet and have a look at our elemental mythical runes. So we have here 42 for ice, 93 poison, 51 fire, 64 light, and 46 dark. So we have a lot of poison ones, but the one I'm going to use the least right now are light and fire. So let's select light, for example. In order to save the ones that you are going to use the most, this is something that you can do. Let's unequip the item. I cannot, but I can equip this one instead. Let's go to the tavern. Let's go to Soul Chaser because it's a weapon. We select Refine. We select our Dragon King Axe right here. And we're going to transform this Dragon King Axe from blue, which is the element that I don't have many, to light because I have 64. So I'm going to refine it. Done. And now I'm going to hone it. So let's go back here to gear, select it, and hone. Now, because I changed the element, the runes I'm going to use are from the new element that I have plenty of. So let's hone it to maximum level, upgrade. Great, but I don't want to be light. I want to go back to blue. So let's go back to the tavern, forge, refine, select the item, and yeah, unfortunately you have to select it every time. The system doesn't keep the memory of the last selection. Here, refine, element, back to blue, refine. Okay, so instead of spending 24 ice uh, runes, I spent one ice rune and 25 light runes. And now let's equip it again. So that's how honing works in this game. And that's about refining and honing in the game. Again, this is a very slow process. It takes a lot of resources and a lot of time. But one good thing that is important to remember when it comes to honing is that when you sacrifice an item that is honed, for example, if I was to, let's unequip it first, and if I was to, um, let's go back here, here it keeps a selection. Okay, let's go back to shields. Let's select by power. Okay, here it is. Let's say we want to salvage this item. We will recover all the different things that we spent when honing. So all the relics we spent will be refunded, and all the different rooms for each one of the levels. So for example, these 12 and 12 are for the 3 levels that it has in Mythic. These 3 and 3 are the legendary level. This 3 and 2 is the epic level. This 2 and 1 is the rare level. So do not be afraid to spend your resources on honing items, obviously, as long as you have enough, because whenever you uh, destroy by salvaging an item, you will recover all of them. Another thing, let's go back to the tavern. Let's go back with the refine the Bloodfang torso piece. Okay, so, oh yeah, the other one is equipped. Sorry, I don't understand why they did this, honestly, not allowing you to select a piece of equipment that is equipped. It doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Let's go back, Bloodfang again. Okay, so let's say that we have this one, we want to refine quality, and we are going to sacrifice this piece of equipment that already has a 4-level honing, which is the um, legendary level honing. Here you cannot see that you will get those resources refunded, but if I was to sacrifice this piece of equipment, all these 4 pips, all the resources I spent honing this piece of equipment would be refunded. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to sacrifice this piece of equipment, but if I did, here you will see that all those pieces, all the evolution runes and the relics would be refunded, which I think is great because sometimes, yeah, you get one piece of equipment, later you get a better one, and you may be thinking, if the old piece of equipment was fully honed, is it really worth sacrificing it? Yes, you will get those points back. Finally, here, if you saw it, let's do this again. If we scroll down in your wallet, here you can see all the different relics, all these, I mean, this is the rare, epic, and legendary relics, and then all the mythical relics, each one for each uh, different equipment set. 3 of them, which are the Castuli relic, the Flame Tree relic, and the Dreamhold relic, can be farmed in adventures. They're very easy, very cheap to farm. Now I don't have any Castuli ones because I already spent them into transforming them into different type of relics, and the rest I did use them to hone some of the items I have. But these adventures will return, they usually return in 1.5 or 2 months. So these 3 types of relics can be very easily farmed. So what do you do then? You go to the tavern. Evelyn, she needs to be, I think it's level 45 at least to unlock this option. And here you can select 2 relics, for example, Flame Tree, confirm, and get 1 relic of your choice. In this case, for example, Bloodfang relic, confirm. And this costs 5,000 gold, which is nothing, 1,500 ore, which is a lot, and 1 of Evelyn crystals. Now, if you saw before in the video, I had 24 of the Bloodfang relic to upgrade my axe, which I've been saving for this video. And yes, that meant that I had to sacrifice 48 of these Flame Tree relics, 36,000 ore, and 24 Evelyn crystals. So as you can see, this is a very expensive thing to do, but it really increases your power. So that's about it when it comes to item quality and when it comes to refining and honing different pieces of equipment. If the video was helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.